back at a HRTC in Harlem. Holler if you remember that place. Anyway, we lead a lot of these sessions and we partner with a lot of schools. We also partner with individual schools. So if you are interested in receiving more targeted support at your school, feel free to reach out. You can send me an email and we can, support your school in learning these tools. So we are CTLE approved. Everyone's going to get CTLE credits attending this session and the other sessions today. And we are an approved DOE vendor. So that's a little bit about us. Today, why are we here? We're here to talk about this term that we've been hearing about a lot, accessibility. And essentially that's, ensuring that products are usable, useful, and delightful to everyone using them. So when I was thinking about this term, this comic came to mind during my research, and I'm sure many people have seen a variation of this, but I think this does a nice job of illustrating what accessibility is within, these tools. So in this comic, it looks like a school, looks like a snow day. The entrance is all snowed in, and you have someone in a wheelchair talking to the custodian, the person in the wheelchair saying, could you shovel the ramp, please? And then the person with the shovel says, I will as soon as I clear the steps. Lots of kids want to go up. And then the person in the wheelchair responds, if you did the ramp, we could all use it. So I feel like that's a nice way, again, to illustrate this idea of like how accessible tools can support everyone. I think there's a misconception that accessibility tools are only for, specific people, when in reality, if a tool is like truly accessible, like it not only supports people with specific needs, but it can support everyone. So my goal today is hopefully to help everyone see some of the features and tools within Google's toolbox and apps, and how we can use these to support our students who have either specific needs, or we can use these to support everyone in our class. So friendly reminder, these things work best when your Chrome browser is updated. I was attending some sessions earlier and I saw that little oval at the top right where it says, update to restart. So if you want to get the most out of your Chrome browser, whether you're on a PC or a Mac or even on your Chromebook, you want to make sure that your Chrome browser is updated. Generally, your Chromebooks will update automatically, so you should be set with those. But again, if you're on a Mac or a PC, you want to make sure that your Chromebooks are updated. The links that are in this session are live, and these I made some videos on how to update your Chrome browser, so you can feel free to check those out if you need to update them. So Google Chrome and accessibility. Okay, the first thing that I want to go over is this select to speak feature. So this one is specifically built into a Chromebook. And I know many people may not be on a Chromebook right now. That's totally fine. There's actually a Chromebook simulator that I have linked in this, and then I'll go over it. So select to speak, it's pretty straightforward, right? You select text and then you have it, spoken to you. Again, that doesn't just help, particular students with maybe like low vision or low hearing, but this can help everyone. Sometimes it's nice to have your text read to you. It's a nice option to have. So again, this particular feature is built into Chromebooks, but there are other add-ons where you can have this done within your PC or Mac. So again, users can select specific portions of text to be read aloud. So how do you do this? Again, I'll show you how to do this within the Chromebook simulator, but you're essentially clicking on the time, and then there's a bunch of options to go through. And then the main thing is that you're going to select text, and then on your Chromebook, you're going to hit the search key, which is typically in place of where your caps lock would be. You would hit that and the letter S, and then it should speak it to you. So there's a video here, but I'm gonna go straight to.
Hi, I'm Nadine Gilkison.
And I'm Mackenzie Gilkison.
I'm gonna go straight to this Chromebook simulator just to show everybody what this looks like. So again, this is a live link. If you have access to my slides, and I'm sure the link's gonna be put into the chat. But when you click on that, you're taken to this pretty cool website. It's a Chromebook simulator. You can test out different features within a Chromebook, even if you're not using one right now. So there's an area down here that says explore accessibility features. So again, I'm just going to go over this one more time. How do you enable select to speak on a Chromebook? So first, I'm gonna make this larger here. If your students or yourself are using a Chromebook, you're gonna go ahead and click on that time. You're gonna click on the gear icon. There's something on the left side that says accessibility. And then when you're here, you're gonna see a bunch of different accessibility features. Okay, there's something that says accessibility features. And a lot of these things I'm gonna be going over. This is only 30 minutes this session, so I'm not gonna go over all of them, but I encourage everyone to check out these accessibility settings within your Chromebook. So this one right here, it says enable select to speak. So it's just a button that you toggle on. So once you turn that on, you're gonna see like a little icon at the bottom right over there. And then how it works is when you highlight text and then you hit the search key and the letter S, it'll start speaking to you. So there are two ways to do it. You can highlight specific text like that and then do search and the letter S for speak. It'll read it to you. Or if you click that little button down there, it'll switch to look like a square. And what that does is that you can highlight a particular area. So as illustrated in the simulator, if you highlight this particular area here, the computer will read everything within that box to you. So if you have, Google Doc or Google Slide with a bunch of text, you can highlight all of that, and then it'll read it to you. Okay. So again, like that is specific to a Chromebook. Many of us are using, PCs or Macs. I'm gonna get to a section in my talk where I talk about different add-ons and extensions. Especially if you're using your DOE Google account, you have access to a bunch of free licenses to different apps. One of them is the Read Write app, which allows you to do the same thing. So I'll be going over that in a little bit. Okay, so the next thing related is voice typing. So this has been a feature for some time now, but I don't know if many people are using it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a new Google Doc, and this is voice typing within a Google Doc. So let's say I open up a Google Doc right here. Actually, let me give you all another tip. If you go to a blank tab, a blank window, let's see if this works. If I type in docs.new, all right, so docs.new, and I hit enter, that's a shortcut to creating a new doc. So some of you may have known that or not, but I learned that recently. Docs.new, shortcut to making a new doc. So what I wanted to show here was voice typing. So when you are in a Google Doc, you can go to Tools, and once you're here, you can go down to voice typing. Okay, so if I click on voice typing, I'm going to see this microphone icon, and if I click on it, the computer will now take what I'm saying and it will add all of the words and convert them into text on my Google Doc, period. Again, this doesn't just benefit some students. I think a technology like this can support anyone that is, if you're like me, too lazy to type sometimes. And then you just hit that microphone again for it to stop. So that's a pretty neat feature. Honestly, like technology like this is in a lot of our devices. I am absolutely using this similar tool on my iPhone because I hate typing with my thumbs. I just want to use this voice to text option. So what's nice about that is your students can use this, they can type it out, and then to take it a step further, so I'm just gonna rename this real quick, voice typing. To take this one step further, once you have this text here, if you go to Tools, you can go down and next to voice typing right above it, there's something that says translate document. So if you needed to translate this document right away or easily, you can do that. So it says translated copy of voice typing. You have a bunch of different languages here. I'm just going to choose, let's see, there's a lot of languages here. I'm just going to choose Spanish here, and then you translate and it'll automatically create a new document that's a translated copy of everything there. My Spanish is not that good. Muy mal. So you tell me if this worked out well. But I just want everyone to know there's a quick way to enable voice to text and a quick way to translate that also. So I know a lot of teachers are working with students that speak different languages. This is another tool, within your toolbox that you can use to work with them. Okay. Cool. I'm looking at the chat. Awesome. Pretty accurate. Okay, cool. I'll take your word for it. So again, if you're in a Google Doc, tools, you got your voice typing, and then you got your translate document. That's all built in there. And like that, it doesn't matter if you're using a PC, a Mac, or a Chromebook. That's all web-based. It's all built into Google Docs, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to go back to my presentation right over here. Magnification options. I'm just going to go over this real quickly. So users can, make the screen larger on a Chromebook different ways. And this actually works on a PC or a Mac too. Like this is a quick way to enlarge text or items like that on your screen. So here on a Chromebook, you can do Control plus or minus. If you're using a Mac, you can do Command plus or minus. And that's a quick way to increase or decrease the size of things on your screen. I actually use that all the time. So, visiting different websites, some websites are built with different resolutions, different screens in mind. Sometimes the text is incredibly small in some sites and large in others. So I use this like quite a bit, like Command plus or minus as a way to change the size of the text on and off this or on the screen. Okay. So again, you can do this in the Chrome simulator. Let me just try this. I'm going to switch tabs to the simulator right over here. And again, all these links are in my slide deck that's going to be shared, or that's most likely is already shared in the chat. So let me get out of this. Let me just show people just real quickly. I'm in the Chromebook simulator. I'm going to go to the Explore Accessibility Features area. And there's something here that says, make your whole screen larger or make part of your screen larger, right? So you can decide which one you go to. I'm just going to choose make your whole screen larger. And then again, this is nice because if you don't have a Chromebook on you, if you're, this will still make you familiar with the process of accessing these features. So again, you click on the time. Let me make this a little bit larger. You go to the gear icon. All right, accessibility. This is similar to what we did before. Manage accessibility features. Right there, enable full screen magnifier. Okay, and then you can choose what level you want to magnify. Okay, and then you can hold down those two buttons and do the scroll 2 fingers up or down in order to increase the screen. Okay, and then you can turn it off by doing those shortcuts. This is pretty cool. I don't remember these shortcuts all the time, so it's nice seeing these like highlighted on this Chromebook simulator. All right. Cool. I'm seeing some people. All right. Yeah, you guys find this useful. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for adding stuff in the chat. I really appreciate it. I am checking the chat, so feel free to add some things on there. All right. So going back here, so that's one way to increase the size of your screen. We just went over that. Again, you can try it in the Chromebook simulator. All right. This is now we're getting even more interesting now. Live captions. So this is a fairly new feature in Google Meet. I'm sure most of us are using Google Meet right now. So I believe right now in Zoom, when I'm speaking, it's being translated. In my captions are being thrown on the screen. I don't see that right now, but I believe that's happening. Google Meet does something similar. To take it a step further, you can use Google Meet. It'll automatically, translate your captions, and then it can translate those captions to a separate language. So I don't speak Spanish well, but I can enable Google Meet and it'll translate it automatically. Let's see what that looks like. I hope we don't get audio feedback. I'm going to try this to show everyone what that looks like. So I open up a new tab. I'm going to go to Google Meet. I'm going to start a new, okay, cool. People are telling me my captions are working. I'm going to open up a new meeting. I'm going to demonstrate what this looks like. I'll turn off my camera. Okay, so if you want to enable captions in Meet, there's a button down here, turn on captions, all right? So I'm going to click on that, all right? So it says my captions have been turned on, so everything I'm saying is being transcribed as captions in English, okay? So if I move my mouse, you see here on the side, it says English and there's a gear icon. If I click on that, it gives me this page right here, and it says translated captions. Right now it's off. If I turn it on, I can choose these languages: French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. All right, I'm going to choose Spanish. And now when I close it, now as you can see on the screen, when I'm speaking, it's no longer translating my words into English, it's translating them into Spanish. All right, Michael, that's incredible. I agree with you, sir. That's incredible. That's amazing. Awesome. Wow. Okay. Let's try it with a different language. So right now it's Spanish. I'm going to click the gear icon. Do we have any French speakers in the house? All right. Hello, my name is Santi, and I love France. I went to Paris many summers ago and had a wonderful time. There we go. It's in French. This is cool. Can students do that from there? Yes, anyone can do this on their end using Google Meet. All right, I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay, I'm turning captions off. I'll do it from the very beginning. Okay, so I'm opening up a new tab. I'm going to Google Meet. Okay, I'm starting a new meeting. This could be a Google Meet within your Google Classroom. Also, I recommend doing this from your DOE Google account. I'm not positive if this particular feature is for all versions of Google Meet, but with your DOE Google, like that's a paid version that has all the bells and whistles. I highly recommend you test this out in your DOE Google account. All right, so I'm in my Google account. I click on close captions at the bottom. By default, these captions are going to be in English. On the side, it says English with the gear icon, okay? I'm just moving my mouse and that shows up. I click on that. You wanna enable translate captions, and then you choose one of these languages down here. I'm gonna click German. Hello, do we have any German speakers in the house? And if so, are these captions correct? Okay, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so somebody had it in the chat. It says, can the chat be live translated too? I'll get to that. I'll get to that. It's coming soon. I'll get to that. But this is pretty interesting. And I from the responses in the chat, I think many people were not aware of this, so I'm glad to have shared this. So I'm just going to turn this off. I hope you use that with your students or with your classes soon. So I'm going to jump back to the man, only 10 minutes left. I'm going to jump back to the presentation. So that's pretty cool. So this is there's another feature similar to that, specifically for Chromebooks. Okay, so meaning like you can, whatever audio is playing within your Chromebook, you'll have captions on there, and that's all built into to the accessibility settings also. These are instructions on how to do it. Again, if you go to this same presentation again later on, one of my colleagues here, a fantastic educator out of Indiana, Nadine Gilkison, she has a video on how to do that. It's really cute. It's her and her daughter teaching how to use this. But if you're interested in enabling captions, live captions on your Chromebook, check out that video. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm Nadine. In the interest of time, I'm just gonna continue moving forward with this. There also have been updated accessibility tools built in within Chromebooks. I'm just sharing this because Google is taking a really serious role in making sure their tools are accessible. So in regards to the screen magnifier, they updated it so you can keep your cursor in the center as you scroll around, as opposed to dragging the cursor to the edge of the screen. You still have both of those options, but they updated that. Just want people to be familiar. Point scanning. So if you use a specific device for magnification, you're able to use what's called point scanning now. Maybe many people are not familiar with that, but this is something that that is used for for individuals with low vision. Okay, Chromevox is Google's own screen reader. Okay, so again, like it can read things on your screen for you. There are updated tutorials on how to use Chromevox. Going back to my colleague Nadine, she does a lot of work with accessibility, and she says that the Chromevox reader is actually, pretty good. and free. So if you guys are interested, if you all are interested in learning how to use Chromebox, just know that there are even more tutorials now built in on how to use that, open to teachers and students alike, right? I wanted to share this real quick, the Chromebook App Hub. So if folks have an iPhone or an Android phone, you're familiar with the App Store or the Android store, right? So this is something similar, but for Chromebook. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to open up a new tab. The Chromebook App Hub are apps that are made to work with Google Chrome. And there's a lot of cool stuff on here. There's a bunch of them. And you can filter by different categories, right? So you can filter by accessibility, classroom management, digital citizenship. There's a lot of stuff on there. If you have a few minutes, feel free to visit the Chromebook App Hub. I'm just going to check on accessibility and see what shows up. So you have all these different tools that you can use with your Google tools. I know it gets a little tricky because if you are using your DOE Google account, you don't have access to every add-on or extension. And I know that can be annoying and might be a roadblock, but the main reason why all these apps are not enabled for your DOE account is privacy, right? Just like the App Store, just like the Android store, you don't necessarily know what the privacy settings are for all of these apps that are on there, or they might not have a robust privacy setting. So at the forefront of like what the DOE is doing is protecting your information as a teacher, protecting your information as a student. That's why a lot of these apps are not, that's why you can't install everything. We want to make sure that the developers are enacting like really great privacy. That being said, if you want to go through this and check what accessibility tools you can use, feel free. If you want to see what add-ons and extensions are available to you as a person using your DOE Google account, the best way to do that is to visit this link, diit.nyc/add-on. I'm not sure if many people know about this link. So if I click on this, it's going to bring me to this page, and this only works when you're signed into your DOE account. Okay, so if you click on that link and you're getting an error message, it's most likely that you are not signed into your DOE account. So how to check like what's available? If I click on app status list, I'm going to click on that. It's going to pull the entire list of add-ons and extensions that are available for us to use. Okay. And when I say us, I mean DOE employees, and then it'll give me a Google Sheet where I can go through and see what's good. Okay, so let me increase the size of this a little bit. All right, so it gave me this link of all of these different apps. Okay, so Snap and Read, that's approved. I like to sort this by just what's approved. Okay, so all these right here, Snap and Read, Google Arts and Culture, Remote Desktop, all these Google Open Dyslexic Font, all these things are approved to use with your DOE Google account. So a lot of these are based in accessibility. For example, this Open Dyslexic Font, if you're not familiar with this, this is pretty interesting. This is an interesting concept. I'm going to click on this link right here. Open Dyslexic is a font that was created to help people with dyslexia read text. Sometimes people have a hard time reading depending on the font. It doesn't jive well with how they're processing, how the letters flow into one another. So this particular text helps people do that. So that's pretty interesting. I think I have it set already. So what this particular extension does, let's see. If I go to a website and I have the extension Open Dyslexic, I have it installed already. What it does is if I turn it on, it changes all of the text on my screen that is highlightable to be Open Dyslexic. So now, if I am someone that, may have trouble reading traditional text, hopefully this helps me read it easier because it just changed all of that. Yes, some folks didn't know that existed. This font's been out for a little bit. I think it's a pretty cool concept. It's open source. You can change your Google Docs to be that way also. I think another like dyslexic friendly font is Comic Sans. But if you're like me, you have a seething hate for Comic Sans. It's fine. It's good in certain cases, but this is a nice alternative. Okay, so Open Dyslexic, and again, I got that from App Status right over here. All these links, I'll share it in that will be shared in the chat. So that's here. That was found on the DOE list. Okay, and again, you can visit that particular link, diit.nyc/add-on, to see all the add-ons that are available to you. Lastly, I know we're coming to the end of this session. It went by really quickly. The Anywhere School is becoming this yearly event that Google puts out. So this just happened the other day, where Google shares the upcoming updates that are happening within Google Workspace for Education. So this is really cool. I have a link that says Watch on Demand here. So if you click that link, it'll take you to the page. Oh, cool. Like it's still doing the Open Dyslexic font. So you just like sign in with your Google account, and then you can watch this presentation. So Sam Lieberman is actually on the chat right now. I think her name is on the chat. It's Google for Education, but that's actually Sam. Shout out to Sam. She's a superstar, super famous now because she's in this video. She has a substantial role in it. I encourage everyone to check out this video, The Anywhere School. It talks about really cool things coming up, such as right here. Okay, somebody talked about this, transcribing this call. So this is either out now or coming soon in time for the fall. So yes, whatever people are saying in the chat, it's going to be transcribed, and then you can sort of like translate that also. I know that's different from the chat. However, I believe the chat is also archived if you're using Google Meet, if you're using your DOE Google account. Again, more reasons to use your DOE Google account. When you record your session, I believe the chat is recorded also. Okay. People are asking for these resources in one location. There is a Google site specifically for the DOE. You can see we can like add that to the chat.
And I think they're all pretty much all included in the deck, which is available.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Sam. That was Sam. Very honored to have you.
The deck itself, yeah. So I'll repost the deck link and everything as you've seen.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, transcribing this call, that's a new feature that's coming out. There's more meeting safety options that you can have when you're using Google Meet. So right here, if you're using Google Meet, again, with your DOE Google account, you can choose whether you want everyone to share their screen, send chat messages, turn on their mic, or turn on their video. All right, so if you're working with some rambunctious students and you want to disable video and microphones and chats for a little bit, you can do that in Google Meet also. That's live. You can start doing that now in Google Meet. So that's pretty cool. All right, and then I just spoke about this, the translated captions. We went over a lot of stuff. Check out the Anywhere School. My name is Santi. Again, if your school is interested in partnering with us, I have consultants that work with schools in helping you use EdTech tools in general, specifically Google. Thank you everyone for joining us. This was fantastic. I'm really honored that you all chose this event. Anyway, thank you very much.